This is Palm Springs Point of View.
And happy Labor Day.
Amen.
Hey.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
How did you spend your Labor Day?
You know, mine was actually kind of quiet, but I'm okay with that. It was okay. How about you?
Oh, yeah. In the pool.
In the pool.
Yeah. We were just kind of hanging around, just enjoying the end of summer.
And the good thing about the pool right now is it's actually cooling down.
It's a little
so
bit,
you can get in there now, which is a good thing.
It's a little bit, yeah. And Palm Springs Point of View is brought to you tonight by ProVR USA.
Right.
The Coachella Valley's only virtual reality arcade. And Derek has a new game, the Flight Simulator. Oh, I can't wait to drive that thing. And we're going to talk about a few things today. There's another exciting new restaurant in town.
Delicious restaurant.
Yes. We got a chance to sit down and do a tasting. And Conrad and I just finished a couple great reads. So we're going to talk about the books, and we have an interview with one of the authors.
That's right. But let's start off with our restaurant. We have a restaurant thing going lately.
Well, I know. I think we've been very hungry.
And it's funny, you and I, we get to see this clip before, right, throughout the week.
Right.
We're working on it. And last night I was watching it again, and what did I have for dinner? I had to go right for Chinese food because it was just, that's kind of the food we're talking about today.
That's it, yeah.
The name of the restaurant is called?
Luchow's.
Right.
And Luchow's is in South Palm Springs. And we had a chance to go and visit Dan Gore, the owner, and his chefs prepared an amazing meal for us.
Let's take a look.
Well, Conrad, how many times have you heard, where can you get delicious Chinese food?
Many, many times.
In Palm Springs.
And we know where you can now. There's a new restaurant called Luchow's here in South Palm Springs.
Well, let's go inside and let's do some tasting.
Let's do it.
All right.
Well, Conrad and I are here with owner Dan Gore. Great to see you, Dan, and what a beautiful place. As many of our viewers know, Dan Gore is the owner of Oscar's downtown, and Luchow's is a totally different experience. Beautiful. Chinese, look at the decor here. Tell us about how you came to purchase Luchow's.
Well, it just kind of happened, just kind of like how Oscars happened. Oscars were not planned. You know, Oscars just kind of fell into my lap. So we have two chefs.
Okay.
Very unique here. We have a house chef that works full time, and that's Chef Jacqueline. She's a native Coachella resident. She grew up here, went to school here, went to culinary school in the county. Also worked for many of the top restaurants here as a sous chef. She has a very passionate angle towards Asian food. She loves cooking Asian food, Chinese food specifically. We also have Chef Su, and Chef Su is a retired restaurant operator, owner. He's owned 5 restaurants in the Valley since he's been here. And he is here part-time, an authentic Chinese cook, a chef, basically. And so we have like a split menu. So on the weekends we have his menu and we have her menu. Chef Su, the Chinese chef, most of his stuff is more traditional, and more spicy and less sweet.
So
all right.
Let's bring on the food. How about we do that?
All right, I'm hungry.
Let's give it a try.
That's good.
All righty.
And we do an interesting, both the chefs came to me and they asked, they do a double process on the meat here, which people have been commenting about. It's kind of labor intensive.
Oh, how does it work?
And they asked me, do you mind us doing that because it's going to be higher labor rates because it takes a more prep time. So it's tenderized twice.
Oh.
So you'll notice that the beef is almost, you don't have to chew it basically.
I love that.
This beef is amazing. It's really good.
Let me go there. I'm going to go there. Even
It's
just
definitely way different than anything I've tasted, and velvety is a good description that someone said to me. I'm like, you're absolutely right. It's very almost as if you don't even have to chew it.
You don't have to chew it. It's great. And then I love the sauce that's over it, almost like a gravy that's really soft.
Well, the broccoli is perfection. It's nice and crispy, the way it should be.
And I want to make sure that all viewers know, look out for this baby. I don't know why it's in there, but I know I would miss it if it wasn't. But these little chilies can be a watch out.
Don't just talk and keep picking it up and put it in your mouth.
Well, this is delicious.
It's really, really good. So we're giving it a high rating.
We'll see you here at or in South Palm Springs at the Rim Rock Plaza. Is that correct? And the restaurant once again is called Luchow's. Come on down. It's delicious.
It's delicious.
So during summertime, of course, it's a great time to do some book reading. You and I have been very busy this summer on our books. You just read a book and you actually had to speak to the author of the book. Tell us about that.
I did. The book I read was a great read, The Unexpected Danny Green, by our good friend Paul R. Friedman. This is his first novel, and boy.
And a Palm Springs resident.
A Palm Springs resident,
Even
and
better.
what a cast of characters he's developed. He's an amazing writer. This is not his last, I'm sure. Let's have a look at the interview.
Let's go in.
Well, I just read an exciting, terrific book by a first-time novelist. The Unexpected Danny Green is the title, and we're here with our good friend and Palm Springs resident, Paul R. Friedman.
Yes, great to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Great to see you. Wow, what a book. I mean, talk about a page turner. And I am not necessarily one that can just kind of flip through and 382 pages. But what was your inspiration here? Boxing, where did this come to be?
You know, Claudia, I wanted to write about an American folk hero. And this character, he kind of came to me. I used to watch boxing with a teacher of mine when I was younger, and I got an interest in the sport. He used to go over the details of the particular match we were watching. He used to discuss and show me when a fighter was doing well, why he was doing well. Like in a horse race, he would say, look at him, he's got kind of cheap speed. I think he's going to fade in the later rounds. And he would. And you would see how the momentum would shift in a match. And of course, the mano-a-mano sport. So you can't get much more basic than that. And I figured that this character could be someone who could compete, and he could be an individualist as well as someone who's also a humanist.
Part of the title says, The Unexpected Danny Green, from Mississippi to Manhattan, Harlem to Hollywood, boxing was just the beginning. And boy, was it. I felt like, not only did I feel like Danny was like my best friend, I wanted to be him, but I was going through his whole life. I mean, it really draws you in into what's going to happen next. I mean, just let me get through one more chapter before I turn the lights out at 2 a.m. So it really, I love the way you draw it out into all of his accomplishments. How does this happen?
Danny is from a good family. He's born on the wrong side of the tracks in Mississippi. He doesn't have a lot of cultural advantages, even though there's education and intellectual pursuits discussed in the home. His mother's a grade school teacher. His father is a journeyman reader of great books, fiction, and he inculcates the children in the home with a desire and a thirst for information and knowledge. So when Danny is young, he discovers he's a very good athlete. He has a punishing left hook. And at the same time, he has intellectual curiosity. And that leads him through his journey in life. So boxing gets him in the door, if you will, and then his intelligence and his awareness of things around him take him further in life.
I know that you do have a background in creative content and writing, as you were executive vice president of creative content at CBS for decades, I would say. Tell us about a little bit about your background and how you decided to write your first novel.
Well, like many people, I think I started in the theater. And when I started, I got kind of the acting bug when I was a lot younger. And that led me to reading a lot of great plays by Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, comedies by Neil Simon. And I understood and started to analyze those works. And as a result, I understood structure better and better. Then I got a job at CBS and I worked my way up from being a page and through the mailroom and got an opportunity to do some writing for the promo department. And that led me to work with the news division in New York, where every single day I had to deliver scripts on deadline by 3 o'clock. And if I didn't, someone was going to be there the next day who took my job. And I want to say something about Palm Springs, because Palm Springs is an issue in the book, or not an issue, but it mentions in the book, because Danny visits Palm Springs. He's from Mississippi, rural town. He comes up to Manhattan. He learns about sort of urban life and the existence of culture. Mm-hmm. And then when he makes it out to Los Angeles, he has experiences in Hollywood. He goes to Palm Springs for a visit, and he has an incredible time there. So I wanted to write about Palm Springs because obviously it's my second home and it has a very, very big place in my heart.
So Paul, do you think you could share with our audience maybe a short reading from The Unexpected Danny Green?
It would be my pleasure. I just happen to have a copy with me.
Ah.
Boy, oh boy. Well, thank you. Yeah. As I said, Danny is a boxer. He's more than that, as we know. But this is the very, very beginning. This is something that introduces us to the character. The kid was an exceptional athlete, quick, agile, strong, with a powerful punch, coach called the decision maker. Once an opponent tasted the left hook, or felt its impact in his ribs, he had two choices: keep fighting or pack it in. Either way, he was going to lose. Bet on it.
As I said, this is a page turner, The Unexpected Danny Green by Paul R. Friedman. Where can our audience buy the book?
The audience can buy the book on Amazon.com, where thankfully it's getting great reviews. They can order the book. It's available there in hardcover, or they can read the Kindle version. And there's reviews up there now. People seem to like it very much. So far, it's gotten 5 stars.
Oh, that's fantastic. Once again, The Unexpected Danny Green. Paul, thank you so much for being with us today. This is a joy.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me.
Okay.
That sounds like an amazing book. And
a must read.
A must read, particularly for myself, in that when I was a kid, my dad and I would go to the boxing matches in downtown LA at the Olympic Auditorium.
Oh.
And it was, as a kid, that was a thing for me to do. And so the fact that there's a book out that talks about boxing, I'm going to read it first, pass it on to Dad. I'm sure he will love it.
And Paul mentions a lot of different landmarks in New York. One of them being where Danny, the unexpected Danny Green, trains, Gleason's gym. I trained at Gleason's gym. Not in the boxing ring, but definitely with the weights and all of that on our off cycling freezing winters in Brooklyn.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay.
I love when it all comes around.
It does. So Conrad, tell us about what you just finished reading.
Yes. I found this book while I was traveling in London called Young Mungo by an author, Douglas Stewart, who won an award back in 2020. Great LGBTQ story here about a young boy who lives in a dysfunctional family trying to find himself and come aware of who he is. There's some tragedies associated here in this book. The family has some issues, but this young guy is just trying to find his way in life, being the parent of this dysfunctional family. I think you'll really enjoy it. One thing I found I had a little bit of a problem with is that it takes place in Glasgow, so it has a Scottish dialect to it, right? The writer, the author, writes in that Scottish dialect sometimes. So just imagine hearing someone who has a heavy accent. You're going, could you say that again? That's kind of what happens in this book quite often. And I hate a book that I have to work at. Just let me read and have a good time.
I think it keeps your mind alive.
It does.
Maybe it kept your pages turning once you figured out what he was saying.
Once again, it's called Young Mungo. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a great summer read.
Great. And I think is that a...
That's right.
Rancho Mirage Library?
That's a Rancho Mirage Library checkout. Let me tell you, I don't know about you. I haven't been to a library in quite some time. However, I called the Rancho Mirage Library to see if it was there. They answered the phone.
Well, that's a plus.
I told them what I was looking for. They found it. They said, do you want it in large font or regular font? Do you want to come to this desk and pick it up? Do you want to go to the front desk?
Wow, that's customer service.
They were so organized and so customer oriented.
So you got the,
Look at that large font.
Large font. Can you see?
Let me tell you, folks, if you've never tried large font reading, you're going to love it. It's so much easier. The library's come a long way.
Well, and it sounds like both of the books we read were very aspirational.
Yes.
The character, right?
Yes,
the main character is just... Yeah.
And there's nothing better than reading.
Makes you happy.
Nothing better than reading a book and you're in it. Yeah. You feel like you know who these people are, right?
Absolutely.
Take a summer read. It's good.
Well, we talked about some great books and a great restaurant, and Fall is upon us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Fall cannot get here soon enough.
I know.
See you later.
Bye.